Okay, tonight I'm venturing outside the world of freediving, and I'm aware of the fact that I may even be creating for myself some problems by doing so. I want to speak about a subject tonight that is very heavy on my heart at the moment. It has nothing, as I say, to do with freediving. It has to do with current affairs. And it's something that I need to outgas on, and okay, I have the media for doing it on my own blog. And I'm taking advantage of the privilege of having a blog to give my own opinion uncensored in this way. I'm aware of the fact that I may be offending some people. My due apologies to you, but I want to speak from the heart tonight about something that is, as I say, both extremely current and I feel very, very important. During the past week, a picture of a drowned 4-year-old Syrian boy who was drowned on a beach in Turkey appeared on the media. And a groundswell occurred thereafter in favor of, or in, we could say, understanding of the plight of the immigrants who are coming from, basically from Syria and from the whole of that, the Near East. For a long time, families, boys, people have been drowned on the boats that have been plying between Libya and Italy. And we've been aware of this, but as we say, a picture is better than 1,000 words. And suddenly the impact of this was right there in our faces. And it had an impact on me. I'm a father of 3 boys, and I remember them at this age. And I have some idea of what kind of impact that would have had on me if that would have been one of my boys. And I couldn't help but be totally moved by that as well. 2 days later, another detail emerged. It was not just a Syrian boy. It was a Kurdish boy. Now, I'm not trying to separate things or divide them. I'm trying to appeal for a level of understanding on behalf of the public who may not understand what's going on here. The Kurdish people, for a long time, have been of interest to me. They are people that were our erstwhile allies against Saddam Hussein many, many years ago. When Barzani was their leader, Israel, amongst other countries, was giving them support to try and limit the atrocities of Saddam. Saddam ended up by mustard gassing the Turkish civilian populations, Kurdish, I beg your pardon, civilian populations, for which he received very little censorship from the Kurds' allies in the West. This was not the first, but one of many betrayals. Today, the Kurds are the most effective boots on the ground. They're the only force that has produced results. Now, hang on. They've done it with obsolete weapons Why obsolete weapons? Why haven't we given them modern weapons? Why haven't we given them weapons effective against armor? Why haven't we given them a lot more than this? Very simply, because the Allies are petrified of offending a little tyrant in Turkey called Erdogan. I'll talk more about this later. Now, here's the thing. The Kurds are some of the bravest people I know. They believe it or not, in sexual equality in spite of being Muslims. Their women fighters fight alongside their men. This terrifies ISIL because if an ISIL fighter is killed by a Kurdish woman, he doesn't get the 72 virgins in paradise. He gets nothing. He dies. That's it. Now, the Kurdish-ruled areas are a total example of democracy, of liberalism in the best sense of the word, of sexual equality, of no censorship for what kind of religion you belong to or anything else. All religions are welcome there. Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever you like, are welcome in the Turkish areas. These are people who are completely, in my opinion, worthy of our total support, and our bravest fighters on the ground against ISIL. Now let's look at the other side of the fence for a second. Erdogan, a supporter of the Muslim Brotherhood, which is trying to tear Egypt in half. Egypt is, believe it or not, a Western ally. A supporter of Hamas, which is one of the vilest of all terrorist, Muslim extremist, terrorist, jihadist organizations in the Middle East. And until now, he has been allowed Turkey to become the main conduit for the recruitment of foreign jihadis going to join ISIL, where they go through Turkey, are met by ISIL representatives in Turkey without interference, escorted across the border, into Syria. Now, suddenly the Americans have decided that it is a worthy deal to sell out their Kurdish allies in an act of depraved treachery that I am furious with, for the sake of a few air bases that, without the air coordinators, are sky trips over Iraq and Syria. Let's think about this for a second. What did Erdogan demand in return? Apparently an unlimited license to bomb the Kurds, the Kurdish families and all the rest of it. That is why you saw the Kurdish boy drowned on a beach in Turkey. This is utterly, completely depraved. Our allies, we have been sold out to a tyrant who is bombing their women and children while they are fighting our cause to stop our men having to go in and be the boots on the ground. What kind of logic is that? What kind of diplomacy is that? What can be learned by the whole rest of the world on, is it really worthwhile being an ally of America if that's the way they treat their allies? This is disgusting. It is stomach-turning. I cannot believe that this is happening. And all the mouthing off about, oh yes, 2 months ago, a month ago, 2 Turkish policemen were killed, apparently by Kurds, and apparently for cooperating with ISIL, which a lot of them have been doing, with the nod from Erdogan. Now Erdogan has got another axe to fire. there is a huge Turkish minority inside Turkey. Now, they voted against him in the last election, and his party, they would have put him as Khalif forever in Turkey, prime minister with unlimited powers in Turkey. They voted against it, so it fell down. So they became the running dog, the X in the sight of Erdogan. Now, okay, there was another bombing today. I am really suspicious when he chooses to unleash the whole of the Turkish Air Force against the Kurds within 1 hour of this happening. Hey guys, did you really establish that the bombing was done by Kurds, and why? This bombing might need a great deal more investigation than that, where 16 Turkish policemen were killed. This, I'm sorry, is an obscenity. It's an obscenity by the West. I heard something by a British parliamentarian today that made my blood run cold. Another thing that Erdogan has wanted is to push for 30 kilometers over his southern border to create a corridor of safe haven for anybody. This is at the expense of the Kurds who are there. The same Kurds, by the way, who fought to the end of their tether in Kobani and didn't surrender, didn't leave the country, didn't flee from the country. And our noble Turkish president, our noble Islamic ally in NATO, has decreed that he wants to push the southern border of Turkey 30 kilometers further south to create a safe haven. Safe haven for who? I ask you that question. Please examine more what's happening in the news. This, I'm sorry, breaks my heart, because we have again committed a giant act of treachery on our most noble and our most staunch ally in the whole of the Middle East, in the whole of the fight against ISIL at the moment. Sorry about the rant. It was outgassing, getting something off my chest. I'll get back onto free diving very soon. Bye.